Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Isam Hamad, for those who don't know me. I am the Managing Director of the Global Entrepreneurship Network Bahrain Chapter, and also the Head of Partnerships and Customer Engagement in Tamkeen. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you for taking part this year. This is actually the second edition of EWC Bahrain. For those who haven't joined us last year at the Global Entrepreneurship Congress, EWC was actually debuted in Bahrain. So it was launched during GEC last year, and we had finalists that made it to the final competition. And this is the second edition of EWC, and it's even better and bigger. So we're very excited to also be part of it this year. So as you've heard from Jonathan, this is a large-scale competition. We have thousands of participants from all over the world. There's some very generous awards for the winning entrepreneurs. And this has become one of Gen's flagship platforms to basically engage and reward entrepreneurs. For those that aren't very familiar with Gen, so Gen is a global entrepreneurship network. It's basically a platform of programs and different initiatives across 170 countries. So they have a chapter in over 170 countries worldwide. We've been in Bahrain for a year and a half, and we have been launching different Gen initiatives in Bahrain, like the Global Entrepreneurship Week, which happens every year in November, and we've been having this for the past 6-7 years. We also introduced the Startup Huddle in Bahrain, which is a more intimate gathering of ecosystem players and entrepreneurs, and we're planning to introduce more of these in the coming future. So this year, EWC is obviously different. We have to work with a different format given the circumstances. But eventually, the organizers still plan to go ahead with the final event, a live event in Saudi Arabia later this year. And that's when the final competition will take place. And that's hopefully where we will be sending our finalists from Bahrain to take part. Before we go ahead with the pitches and the competition, I just wanted to thank the judges and the startups for taking the time to go through the process. We're also going through this for the first time, and we're very excited to, there's many familiar faces, but I'm very happy to see and to meet some new faces as well. So we have 3 judges today who will be reviewing the different businesses competing at this year's edition. I'll start with the lady, Sarah Amin, who is a senior manager at Bahrain Development Bank and also lead fund support at the Waha Fund. We have Safa Sharif, who is an entrepreneur himself and also a very active member of EO Bahrain and a board member of Gen Bahrain. And lastly, last but not least, my colleague, good friend, Mohammed Ahmadi, who is the director of the investment department in Tamkeen. So they have had a look at your companies. They have a background about what you do. And we all look forward to hear from you through your pitches today. And we hope everyone enjoys the session. So enough from me. I'll leave it to Sabicha. She actually has all the details and she'll be sharing with you the format of the session. Thank you and good luck to everyone.
Okay, so first off, we're going to go ahead with the startups in the early stage, and then we'll be introducing the startups in the growth stage. First up, we have Ali Nazra. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Arabic Digital Reform Institute, which is an international technology firm striving to improve the digitization of Arabic literature and its content around the world. Ali, you can go ahead and share your screen, and I'll give you access for you to start.
Thanks, Sabika. I appreciate that. Can you hear me well?
We can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. I'll share my screen.
All right.
Can you see this now?
Can everyone see it? Okay, you can go ahead.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone. This is Ali Mazrey. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Arabic Digital Reform Institute, ADRI. We came to existence particularly to combat a fundamental problem that is impacting the development in the MENA region entirely. And that is the fact that knowledge, modern knowledge, does not exist as we see in other languages in the Arabic language. We surveyed 86% of the modern academic topics don't bear even one article in the Arabic language. This is while the region, majority of our states, the English-speaking population is only 20%. 80% of our populations don't have the fluency in the English language to be able to digest in research and knowledge as we expect for our development goals. What is the solution? We have the answer. So we created a group of technologies that streamline the translation cycle. We translate complex articles from English to Arabic with 96% accuracy in the translation. And while transferring all the formatting and editorial details of the original English article into the Arabic one, and all that in a split of a second. And after we do that, we pass that, of course, after through a quality assurance process where we make sure that everything is actually correct after the machine translation. Now, the value that we generate is the fact that 95% we faster translate literature. We provide that with 99% less errors because we remove the human errors out of the cycle to 96%. At the same time, we offer those translations for 70% lower costs to the market. And we can scale that to hundreds of pages per day because of our technologies. How we make money out of that, we created two streams of monetization. And the first one is specialist translation for specialist content, and that is project-based, and minimum $35,000 per project is the price. At the same time, we created a platform for Arabic research, and that is to be launched in early 2021 for $3 per user per month for the universities to subscribe for all their students. It's only available for B2B. Now, our market is estimated for the MENA region for the combined two products is nearly $5 billion per year, of which we are targeting $70 million for the next 12 months. Apologies, $30 million for the next 12 months. Of that 30 million, we already secured 1.25 million revenue via a 3 years commitment. And we already have $8 million worth of deals in the pipeline for 2021. And we are aiming to expand to 35 million per annum for 2022 as well. Now, as you can see that the project is multifaceted in terms of the benefits for the community. So we would like to invite you to join us. We're aiming to become the unicorn of the Middle East in the next 2-3 years. So we're particularly interested to hear from you if you are an investor, or if you have access to a comprehensive network, or if you can assist us in strategic partnership, or even influencing the education policies to include more Arabic. We can do that because we have a very capable team. I myself come from a 12 years background in enterprise architecture, and I have a very capable team, as you could see, supporting my decisions across this project. Many thanks for hearing our stories. And should you have interest to hear more about our success, we would love to discuss that with you. Thank you.
All right. I think we can go ahead with the Q&A. If any of the judges have any questions, we have 2 minutes.
I have a question to Ali. Ali, in terms of fundraising, did you fundraise from investors, angels, or like venture capital firms? This is one question. And how much did you raise so far? The second question, so who's your target? You've mentioned university. Did you manage to secure universities in Bahrain? And who are the universities so far? And in terms of companies like publication, corporate communication, I would assume it is a very needed project for we struggle with translation, and we pay a lot of money, and then the quality of the translation is bad. So it's definitely a great idea and a great concept, but we want to know what's your target and on capturing the market, and what's your plan to grow outside of Pakistan.
Absolutely. Thank you. Really appreciate Sarah, the question. So to take the first question, yes, absolutely. We have been in a couple of rounds of fundraising. I have to mention that we are originally from New Zealand, but now proudly are a Bahraini company as well. In New Zealand, we were able to raise $120,000 worth of seed fund. And lately, we also secured another round of seed fund with the Flat 6 Labs as well. I'm speaking to you actually from the recording studio today for our demo day with Flat 6 Labs. So we're a proud member of that family. In terms of the clients, we are working very closely with a lot of universities, and we already have 220 academics that currently are volunteering their time to develop the project so that they also can benefit from that. But our revenue right now is coming from, is secured from a government agency in the GCC region. I apologize, I'm not allowed to disclose the details until we go into a private discussion. But it's a ministry that has hired us for particularly translating a large number of academic content. In terms of the publication, that is absolutely one of our goals to focus. However, we segmented our market, and particularly we wanted to start with the government agencies to get not only just their market share, but also to get their support in other areas, including the policy that we're expecting that is going to change in the region particularly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali.
Appreciate that.
Okay, I think that's it for questions. We can go ahead with introducing the next startup. Next up, we have Khalifa Al-Mannawi, who is the founder and CEO at Evergo. It is a mobile application that allows users to schedule and book appointments, sessions, and callbacks across multiple sectors, both in physical locations and online. Khalifa, you can go ahead and start.
Hello, thank you. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Khalifa Al-Mannawi, and basically, what is Evergo? Evergo is a one-stop solution for booking appointments across multiple sectors. So a lot of the technology is segregated. So we found that a lot of the apps exist, each one catering to one sector, but there was difficulty in building technology and available engine that would be able to universally book across all. And that's what we were able to do. Now, when we started late last year. We built it in-house completely. So the team completely sits in-house. And once we developed the app, we developed a complex booking and availability engine, but you're able to book in 4 simple steps. So basically, once you register, you select the category, you find a vendor, and then you select the service and your booking's complete. Now, our revenue model initially started as transaction fees for the bookings and the vendor subscriptions fees. So it wouldn't change on the end user. Now, what happened is we raised funds. We built everything in-house. We shifted it to a separate entity, and then we went on raising funds. We secured investment from angel investors and private investors. But once we secured investment, we had the whole COVID pandemic. So this was our turning point. So we had the money, we had the traction, but we couldn't enter the market because of the COVID situation and how everything was legally closed. So vendors were closed to the public. People were advised to stay at home. So the whole fact the people were physically able to go was out of the question. So this is when we decided to pivot. And what we did was we used the technology, we leveraged the technology and the team we had. We deployed our own video communication on EWC Bahrain that we fully control. We integrated it with our booking engine, and we introduced a service where you can book and attend the session all within Evergo without ever having to leave. So imagine Eventbrite and Zoom in one. So there was no more sharing links, sharing passwords. Within the education industry, within the fitness industry, people were able to go in, book a session, pay for it, and when it came to the session, you would only log in through Evergo and it would stream the service directly. Now, bear in mind, Evergo was always built as a tool and not a sector agnostic business. And this is what gave us the flexibility to enter different markets and enter different markets rapidly. Now, the result of this pivot was that facilities can manage their entire team all from home. So case and example was there was a ladies' gym that only sold services to women because of the nature of their business. They were able to sell it to men for the first time on Evergo because of the privacy feature we have on Evergo. And they were able to do it where the owner of the gym was at home and all instructors were at home. The dashboard offered them user management and offered them the ability to manage their staff schedules all remotely. That being said, we were able to open up users to the GCC instantly because we were virtual. And what happened was we started streaming from 4 different countries. So we decided to bring in vendors from the UK, vendors from, currently we have 4 different vendors. So we have people streaming from Bahrain, from New Zealand, from UK, and from Kuwait, all streaming to the people of the GCC. To date, it took us 5 weeks to pivot. And then we launched late June, beginning of July. We have over 400 users within the time of us not even being able to approach anyone, all within remotely, and over 400 bookings made, meaning that the power of the technology we built was a genuine gap in the market that people required. Now, moving forward, hopefully by end of September, once things legally open up, and we see a sense of normality within our region, what will happen is the app will encompass physical bookings for local countries and international bookings across sector. We find that the internationally streamed bookings were a big hit because a lot of these international brands were able to stream and increase their brand awareness to the people of the region and offer their services overnight at a minimal cost. So this is our new revenue model. For stream sessions, we charge one-off session fees per session on the vendor. We don't cap on time, up to 100 paid users per session. So if you can have up to 100 people within your session or class. Physical booking stays the same as transaction fees and vendor subscription fees. In terms of scalability, we will continue to increase our global awareness and bring vendors internationally and offer the service within health and fitness, lifestyle, and education to the people of the GCC region. And we'll focus on country-specific physical bookings, one country at a time. What was our competitive advantage? That we always built everything. Yeah.
Khalifa, I didn't want to cut you off. If you can just wrap things up.
Sounds good. So Evergo was built as a tool. We have privacy features that allow for the host to see everyone, but the participant only to see the host. We have an application process to accept or reject people into specific classes based on the vendor. It's cross-sector. and our team in technology. Me, Khalifa, I come from a business background, but I established Manai Tech 7 years ago. We've won the first place for the Entrepreneurship Award for Bahrain, 5th regionally in the Intel Business Challenge, and all our teams sit completely in-house and dedicated across both companies. So the team interaction we build can be instant, and that's what allows us to pivot with strong technology over a short period of time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khalifa. I think we can go ahead with the judges. Does anyone have any comments, feedback?
I can jump in, possibly. Sorry.
Safa, you can start. Safa, you can start.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Khalifa, Shonik, hope all is good with you. Good to see you back again. Khalifa, curious to know how much of your time you're spending on Evergo. I know that you're also busy with other activities. Where do you see yourself in the coming 2 to 3 years' time, or what's the future? How does the future look for you? And maybe if you can explain, I was trying to benchmark to which other business I can compare Evergo to. I think you put it nicely that it's a combination of Everbright and Zoom. How do you plan to take over Everbright's market share? They've been there for a long time.
Okay, to answer the first part of your question, when I secured investment in March, I committed up to 90% of my time on Evergo, and since then, 4 to 5 days of the working week, I have been on Evergo, and I don't think that will change in the near future. Manai Tech has been there; it's been self-sufficient. We have our large number of customers worldwide, and that is running its course. I always say that I used to sell the mix, so I use the Betty Crocker example. Now I want to start selling cupcakes, and this is what I'm doing. In terms of global traction and growth, I'm currently now in London, and the number of businesses that want to onboard to approach the audience instantly are significant. We have even tailors coming to approach that we have to reject, saying we do fine suits, saying but they're not in line with what we do. So we say, unfortunately, we can't have you at the moment if anything changes. So the need for it worldwide is there. We can see, and what I try to expand is I want to encompass all this into one. Now, the way Eventbrite works, Eventbrite is only ticketing. We're not ticketing. Eventbrite says, this is the event, come buy your ticket or book your ticket. I am booking a slot in a session, plus I offer my own video conferencing technology. So because of, say, for example, the background we have, we've taken that tool, we've deployed it on our servers, and we built an engine around it, meaning anyone within the region gets direct access to less latency because it's EWC Bahrain. So they're communicating directly through here. We keep safeguarding these things to ensure the quality of service. We can open up literally to anyone in the world to register for the online sessions, but we want to maintain quality and gradually scale based on what we have and the ability to cater to that need. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much.
So we have time for one more question.
Yes, Sabith, I'll have to take this question. Hi, Khalifa. Khalifa, I like that you pivot your idea, because the first concept where it's a platform that brings in different booking, I know that there were other applications that struggled to capture the market, like salons, they fail to, because like different systems, like different mentality, the market wasn't ready. But I like the online booking and streaming, and especially with COVID and like online classes, education, like you could cover a lot with online sessions. So I think you should focus on that element and that where it's needed more than the physical, because we've seen a lot of applications that tries to do the booking and fail to capture that market. My question is the team, who are the team, and how you could manage to attract more customer base? And you've mentioned that you've been across GCC and outside, and because it's online, everyone could log in. But what's your marketing plan to attract more customers? And as Safa said, getting shares or market share from Eventbrite and these like Zoom, for example.
Okay, I just want to start by saying that in terms of these other applications, they're not in direct competition because I'm not sector agnostic. I don't need 100 saloons to make my app feasible. I need just enough to make it part of someone's lifestyle. So that reduces my risk. Coming back to the second point, where you mentioned that if I wanted to open up GCC, how would I use my awareness? One, what we're doing is we're using brands. So we're using brands to convert their following onto our user base. So here we have, like, say, for example, in Kuwait, what happens is there are people who have followings, and what happened is they would onboard them because they would have their sessions there. And then coming back to other parts of the world, like the European part, we have like BXR, which is a boxing franchise that is global, right? And it's looking to expand. So they would also play in part in cross promotion. Now, this is where our value initially lied, where we can offer vendors cross promotion and convert people from other sectors into their customers. Because what would happen is, say, for example, I am a mid to high income person who would
Sorry,
go to...
guys.
Okay.
I think the time is up. I'm so sorry.
Can I finish in one sentence?
One sentence.
Thank you. We're a tool at the end of the day. So things like our privacy with vendors, like for example, with Bahrain FinTech Bay, their mentoring will be done on Evergo, but it will only be accessible to their users. You as an average Evergo app will not be able to see that. Because of it being a tool gives us the upper hand, and we're not competing with Zoom or Eventbrite. We're bringing a solution that fits a gap in the market that they don't currently do.
Thank you. Thank you, Khalifa. Next up, we have Ali Al-Alawi, who is the Managing Director at Unipal, which exists to help university students in Bahrain experience a better university life. Ali, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Perfect. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Perfect. 1 second. Can you see my screen? Sarika, can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Ali Al-Alawi, and I'm the co-founder and managing director of Unipal. My partner and I, who's also called Ali, studied in the UK. And as students there, we got access to all kinds of offers and discounts just because we were students. Coming back to Bahrain, coming back to the region, we realized that's not the case here. There isn't a single established platform for students that serves them outside academia. Students don't even get a discount on their daily cup of coffee. So we decided to create Unipal, an established student-centric platform giving access to all offers and discounts using a unique digital student ID. And with 160 offers covering 12 categories for the everyday lifestyle of students, we're currently the biggest student offering platform. Now, we launched our website back in January. From January up until May, we've managed to acquire 3,000 students, partner with 120 merchants, 5 universities, and raise more than $80,000 in pre-seed funding. When we launched our app on June 1st, this was more or less a game changer for us because we've witnessed a 200% in user base growth and transactions. When we launched the app on June 1st, up until now, we've had more than 4,500 downloads, almost 3,000 signups, and our favorite number, helping students save more than $4,000 in just 3 months. Looking at Unipal from a leaderboard perspective in Bahrain, we're currently second, holding more than 5,000 students, and that's equivalent to 10% of the student population. Out of the 17 universities, Unipal is currently second. The Unipal Student App has advanced search options for the students, geolocation feature to check all the discounts near them, an events page, and of course the digital ID, and the students' favorite, the savings tracker, allowing students to see what they saved, when they saved, how much they saved. We also have the merchant app that we built for the merchants to instantly verify students when they visit or when they buy online, and track redemptions themselves. During the pandemic, we've also created a prototype for the universities. Essentially, the idea of the prototype is to help universities get the experience of an app without the hassle of maintaining and creating an app. Out of the 17 universities, only 2 have an app in Bahrain. So this was an opportunity that we dived into. Essentially, universities get their own page in the app to easily connect with the students, and the advanced student ID digitizes the physical student card. Obviously, universities can renew and issue IDs electronically, real-time verification, and the dynamic QR code allows for further integration. Sorry?
ID?
Yes. Is it okay? Hello?
I think you should just continue.
Okay, I thought I got cut off. Anyway.
Continue, Ali. مو مشكلة نسمعك.
Inshallah. Okay, perfect. So we have 3 revenue streams. We have the freemium package for students. We have for the merchants, we have subscription packages and a commission structure. For the universities, it ranges between $5 per student per year up to $30, depending on what kind of services they want and what kind of in-app features. Some of our notable merchants, such as iMachines, Samsung, Elevation Burger, Doze, covering all different sectors and categories for the everyday lifestyle. The way we differentiate ourselves is that we're unlimited. So unlike, for example, the entertainer, it's not 3 redemptions. We're personalized and gamified. We have API integration for online vendors. So it's not just physical places. And of course, we've localized the app. The market opportunity is clear. There's more than 10 million university students only. And that's without the fresh graduates and the high school. And our current target market is Bahrain, followed by the GCC. Targets ahead, we've so far accomplished our first target of 10% of the student population and aiming to hit 20% by the end of the year. And in 2021, we aim to enter 1 or 2 countries. Well, our team is a blend of young, passionate, and experienced, aiming to change student lives 1 offer at a time, because طلابنا يستاهلون. Thank you.
مشكور علي, يعطيك العافية. طلابنا يستاهلون.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Sabich is facing some technical connection difficulties, but she'll be joining back in and continue the live stream. I'll take over in the meantime. Judges, do you have any questions for Ali?
Hello, Ali. Thank you very much. Allow me, please, to ask one quick question. Why are you limiting yourself to the student segment, while I think other sub-segments can also benefit from the same, let's say, feature or let's say the discount itself?
Sure. So we have another platform that is for the general public in the region is Entertainer. But the reason we're centralizing ourselves for students is because they're in the region, they're basically abundant. They're not catered for just like outside. The students' budget differs, the student lifestyle differs, the thing they do differs, and we're aiming to have Unipal as the hub for students outside academia. So essentially, it will be university students, fresh graduates, and high school. That's the segment we'll be catering for.
Thank you.
I have a question. Ali, your time spent on this, is it a full-time job on Unipal or the team?
Yes, so I work full-time on Unipal. I used to be in Dubai, but I left Dubai, came back last year. My partner also left, he worked at the CBB, he left full-time for Unipal. Our CTO is full-time Unipal, designer is full-time Unipal. The consultants are part-time. And we do have 2 other part-time interns part-time.
Okay, great, thank you.
If I can ask Ali, I don't know if I can disclose this. In your application, you mentioned a certain revenue, recurring revenue so far. I think without mentioning the number itself, when do you think you will be at a certain scale where you can fund yourself by yourself as a business, or you're going to be depending on raising capital?
No, we'll definitely not be just dependent on raising capital. So for us right now, we're aiming to push high on the transactions and basically have our app, on a daily basis usage. So then we work on October and November on conversion, because once our conversion is at about 10% to premium, we break even.
Break even as in November, December. So within a year, that's next year or this year? This year or
No,
next year?
Year.
This year.
It's all about the conversion. Yeah.
I have another question, Ali, related to the segment itself. How would you track the other needs of the targeted segment, talking about students, and how can you also interact with those other needs?
Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you, Mohammed. Basically, the feature that we introduced in the app that wasn't in our website is the savings tracker. And we've had such a good feedback on it that we decided as a team that we will build on that. So basically, what the app currently shows is that where the student went, how much they saved, and from which merchant. What we're doing now is advancing this and having basically students are able to see how much percentage do they save on categories. So if a student goes to cafes a lot, he'll be able to see that, restaurants, online, and it becomes more or less a budgeting kind of thing within the app itself, because it's all integrated with the merchant app anyway. So that's a feature we're looking to advance. And in terms of interacting with the students themselves, it's students. So we use university roadshows. We go to universities ourselves. Now it's mainly social media, and through the app we have a notification section. So we send them regular updates. If a merchant joins Unipal, we have about 15 merchants join every month, and we update that on more or less a weekly basis, telling them this joined, these guys joined. Do you like this offer? Polls and whatnot. I hope I answered your question.
I think
Thank
you have. We can go ahead and introduce the next startup. This is going to be the final startup in the early stage. We have Mohammed Khalil, founder of the platform, he's the innovation lead of the platform, which is a precision farming platform that applies AI on data captured by IoT ground sensors and satellite imagery to enable precise farming. Mohammed, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Hello, everybody. GCC produces only 20% of its food locally, despite using 80% of water for agriculture. Globally, fertilizers that worth $10 billion are wasted annually due to lack of precision farming. This way of farming will not fulfill the future food demand increase due to population growth. Unfortunately, our MENA region farmers have no data-driven platform to optimize water and fertilizer utilization. Hello, this is Mohammed Khalil, the founder and CEO of the platform. We build a precision farming platform that utilize data of IoT ground sensors, satellite weather and imagery data, and farm daily activity records to enable variable rate irrigation and fertilization with the help of crop and soil scientific modeling to simulate the plant requirements and behavior, then send actionable insights to the farmer across the season. We do that through Platform X and Cognitive X products. Platform X has a mobile and web application to manage farm daily activities, and it offers two integrations. One with IoT ground sensor to monitor soil moisture and environmental parameters, pest infestations, and the other integration with satellite imagery, where we use it to monitor the crop growth and performance and health. Cognitive X is an AI engine that utilizes and consumes soil crop data, weather, farm daily activities to act as an agronomist who closely and continuously monitor the farm performance to wisely tune the irrigation and fertilization for specific spots within the farm to maximize the yield profitability and with optimized resources. We do focus on market of 50,000 date palm tree, medium large scale, and 2 million hectares of central pivot farming that grows crops like grains, potato, and alfalfa and wheat. The platform is available as SaaS model, where we charge $1 per hectare for Platform X and subsidize the hardware sensors with extra $1 to activate Cognitive X engine. We started this SaaS model where we pivoted as a SaaS model on January 2020, where we are able to achieve monthly recurrent revenue plus achieving guaranteed revenue across the next 6 months for total of around $350. The team comprised expertise from different domains: IoT, hardware, agronomy, machine learning, and AI, plus business development for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Judges, does anyone have any questions? Need any clarifications or?
Maybe quick questions. Mohammed, why MENA, not other parts of the world to offer your service?
We started by focusing on date palm tree farming because the platform or the startup in the shape that you see today came after a pivot. So we started as a startup that detect red palm weevil infestation in date palm, and definitely this is a MENA region problem. Then we expand our focus to accommodate also central pivot farming. Why MENA region? Because those are the two common modern agriculture type in our MENA region. We suffer from water in countries like GCC or Saudi Arabia and Egypt. We have a major water problem. So we focus on this because of this reason, and because we see a competitive advantage. We see ourselves as a leading startup that use data and IoT for agriculture in our region. That's why we do focus on this region. However, we see the market itself is big. Countries like Australia and Central Pivot, US, Europe, but we are the major player in the region right now. That's why we need to keep this focus on the region so far.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. I have also a quick question. I think it is a very sophisticated kind of technology, which is really astonishing. But how are you dealing with the readiness of your customers in terms of utilizing such a technology and integrating it into their operations, daily operations? I think it needs kind of a culture.
Exactly. We tackle this by two things mainly. First of all, we target medium, large scale farms. We are not targeting the small farmers because definitely this is a major challenge and we are not ready for that at the moment. That's why we target medium, large scale farms where they have staff dedicated. They have some people handling IT activities within the farm or the farm management. They have dedicated resource to handle the agriculture. This is the first thing that we do to tackle this problem. Second thing, we have within our team agronomist who is coming from agronomy and farm management. So he leads the discussion and the agronomy discussion. He knows exactly what they need. He knows how to communicate with them. He knows their pain and he speaks their language. Like for example, one of the things that we do, we open office for the operation in the areas that has many of those medium large scale farm. Like in Egypt, for example, we have office in South Egypt in city called Aswan. Why? To be close to our customer, to be always beside them. So this is the way we tackle this challenge. However, other customers, like for example, in Saudi Arabia, we onboarded Abdulatif Jamil, which is a very big farm for date palm. We onboarded them and we converted them to paying customer online through Zoom training and through Zoom sessions.
Thank you, Mohammed. I hope that he answered all your questions. Next up, we're introducing the businesses who are in the growth stage. First up, we have Sonia Janahi, who is the founder and CEO of Maya the Chocolatier. It is a business about great chocolates and a breakthrough of recipes. Sonia, you can go ahead and share your screen and you can start. Oh, I think Sonia had technical difficulties. We'll move on to Sarah Schwab, the founder and CEO of the Experience Accelerator, who use the latest cognitive research and digital technologies to help leaders learn new ideas and behaviors faster and more effectively. Sarah, you can go ahead and start.
Thanks so much. Good afternoon to everyone. So Sarah Schwab is my name, founder and CEO of the Experience Accelerator. Delighted to be a part of the Flat 6 Labs Bahrain family, as well as a Tenmu portfolio company. And for those, I've worked in the field for over 25 years. Those who know me know that I care passionately about great leaders and managers. Not just because it's a feel-good factor, but because of some of the data that you see on the right-hand side of the page. Good leaders and managers translates into good business. But I think the way that we teach leader and manager behavior is broken. E-learning solutions, they're cheap, they scale well, they throw off good data, but they're not really good at driving behavior change. One-on-one coaching is good at driving behavior change, but doesn't deliver on the other metrics. So with the Experience Accelerator, we've created a fully virtual platform that aims to take the best out of both of those models. So it's grounded in cognitive learning science. It turns out that if you learn, practice, and get fast cycle personal feedback on your behaviors, you are able to acquire those behaviors better and faster. And we do see that validated by our before and after metrics, between 40 and 80% improvement in leadership behavior for managers that use our platform. We're also super proud because with every learner, we generate a unique labeled set of data that helps train our machine learning algorithms, which will allow us to scale even further, reduce the price, and drive greater automation on the platform. And how do we make money? So the unit of measure is the scenario. You see some examples there on the left-hand side of the page. Learners go through that 3-phase learning journey I just described. That costs between $200 and $300 US, so per scenario, per learner, and we generate a 58% gross margin on every scenario that we sell. Now, customer selection of our customers on the left-hand side. I've focused in on Ferring Pharmaceuticals on the right-hand side, simply to demonstrate how a large customer can increase revenues systematically over time. And I'm super excited. Very, very, very late last night, we were able to close a new $60,000 contract with the University of Arizona, who are bringing a lot of their student learning online, and they see real value in our solutions. Business performance since the midpoint of 2018 has been steady. I'm pleased and proud to say that we are able to grow revenues with just a small amount of external funding, if I'm honest. We broke even in 2019. We have a high customer repurchase rate, and our newest customer is Microsoft. We're working with their cloud data services division. So this is a really big market. Conservatively at the top of the page, the TAM, over 2.5 billion if you take corporate and university markets. And this is how we see our users, customers, and annual revenues growing over the coming years. We have had a challenge during the coronavirus time. Not going to lie, a lot of corporate budgets got into deep freeze, but the good news is that they're starting to unfreeze now. And the fact that people have changed fundamentally their view towards virtual learning gives us confidence that we can really start to ramp up fast into the autumn. On this is a busy slide. I'm proud of this slide for two reasons. The team's really diverse and international, and we're able to deliver our services in North America, in Europe, and the Middle East through our network of 35 plus coaches. We've got an amazing advisory team. We've got senior execs from Oracle. We've got Jamal, head of KPMG in Bahrain, Dr. Paul Thurman, professor at Columbia, and Patrick Wienhoff, our very first customer, former head of learning at Swisscom. So let me close by just sharing some of the validation that we've had from the market and industry experts. And last year in 2019, we were nominated by the World Economic Forum as one of MENA's top 100 startups. Delighted to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. I think Mohammed has a question.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. I'll just shoot out my question very quickly. I think every region and market got its own challenge, let's say, and of course, overcoming this challenge will means, of course, sales and bottom lines. What's the main challenge here for the MENA region that really that you really tackled and attracted those customers in the region?
So I think it's in the MENA region, we're seeing the opportunity to leapfrog, if you like, over the more traditional, expensive, non-scalable coaching and mentoring model to this more modern, fresher, time-efficient approach that we're offering. So I think that that's one thing that we're seeing, not everyone, but early adopters being willing to sort of step in. The fact that we can offer solutions in Arabic, I think also bodes well for our future growth in the region. Those are probably a couple of areas. I think we've done a really interesting program with DP World in the UAE over the past few weeks. And one of the things that they said was they really liked the opportunity to be privately practicing some of these behavioral skills in a way that's not always possible in real life. So there seems to be something around this, personalized but affordable and scalable way that our learners seem to like in the region.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we can have a question for Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah, hi, how are you? Sarah, I think going back to Mohammed's question, I think there's the struggle of onboarding companies and for them to understand the value added and being educating or like coaching your employees and top management. There is resistance, I would assume, like especially from like top management, like I know how to deal with my staff, I know how customers. So how you are mitigating these factors and how you're overcoming these challenges, which is really your customers and getting to convince the top management to subscribe and purchase the service that you offer.
Yes, and I wouldn't say the challenge that you've alluded to, Sarah, is limited to the region either. I see that the qualities of companies that we're able to onboard are those who already have a digitization strategy, not just for learning, but for their business. So that's one thing that we look for. And more specifically in the region, we segment the companies with respect to how they view talent. You know, do they have a more progressive talent management policy that involves development, coaching, and so on, or not? And I think we've learned that you know, the former is the place that we need to focus. We're fundamentally an international solution. So we believe that it's the GCC is a great potential market for us, but it's probably going to be slightly slower growing than other parts of the world for the reasons that I've described. The other thing that actually does help with particularly folks that maybe have more of a finance or data-driven preference is that we get really good data. We can look at a cohort of learners that go through a program and we can say, oh, you've got a systematic problem with empathy in your managers. All of them perform poorly on that element. And so being able to show that to perhaps skeptical buyers seems to have allowed us to get a little bit of traction against the resistance that you've alluded to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
One more question, please. If there is
Okay,
time.
we'll have to make it quick just because we're running short on time.
Okay, my question is really related to, I think, to the channel that you communicate with. When you talk to companies, of course, the human resources department. How do you kind of try to sell your solution to the HR and any organization who are disengaged, let's say, with their let's say with their business and operations?
So when the HR people are disengaged from operations, Mohammed, sorry, I didn't quite understand that last part of the question.
Actually, because of course every HR team will think that they are a business partner, you know.
Right. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think that gets to our prospect segmentation, is that we see that HR organizations that do not necessarily always have the respect of the budget owners and business leaders in their organization, it's actually better to go into, you know, perhaps the CIO, the head of IT, or perhaps a general manager, which is what happened with Microsoft actually, is they're obviously facing a huge increase in cloud capacity, and they've identified this very specific problem that they need to solve. And so it was a business leader rather than the learning person that essentially bought that. So for us, it's really about great diagnosis up front when we're engaging with prospective customers, because I couldn't agree with you more. When you're talking to HR folks that don't necessarily have this good relationship with the business, it can be quite a long and unproductive conversation.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Next up we have Sonia Janahi will be the final business will be pitching today. Sonia Janahi is the founder and CEO of Maya Le Chocolatier.
Hello, everybody. Can everybody see the presentation? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can everybody hear me? Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving me a chance to take you through a chocolate journey today, different than technology, completely new field. Maya Le Chocolatier was founded in 2007 by a team of Bahrainis, and the main focus was to focus on chocolate for a better world. Similar to how the Mayans started when they discovered chocolate, it wasn't for the rich and the wealthy and the people of a specific status. It was open to all. Maya's objective from day one was to bring together chocolate fans regardless of age group, gender, status, or income. Everybody in this world deserves to have good quality chocolate. Our focus was innovation, and this is why we wanted to create a chocolate that has low cocoa butter, low sugar, no additives, no preservatives. I studied the art of making chocolate. I'm a professional chocolatier, and I trained all my Bahraini and non-Bahraini team. And 4 years we experimented until we managed to get the magical solution, which is very simple: control humidity, temperature, and having a very, very stringent hygiene control, which literally gave us the shelf life of 7 months to beyond even 1 year for dark chocolate. The Arab world, unfortunately, the level of diabetes is increasing. Sadly, many children are affected. Maya has one objective. We want everybody to enjoy high quality chocolate without having the fear of reaching into diabetes, and basically to stop people from the commercial chocolate, which is not chocolate and candy, because of the excessive fat and excessive sugar. Since 2007, Maya has been a very profitable company. We started with a capital of $1.5 million, and we have had positive results. We have even paid out dividends to our shareholders in excess of 30%. The strategy is very simple. It's about creativity, it's about innovation, it's about a qualified team who studied the art of making chocolate. This includes architects, engineers, and even sales and marketing people. We've developed the brand to not just be a chocolate house, it's even including a fondue island, a Maya retail concept, and a very highly leveled, sophisticated brand called Maya Gold, including to the chocolate production facility in Bahrain. Our objective, of course, is to be a worldwide brand and not just in Bahrain. Today, the value of the brand is $8.5 million. We are now today even in the phase of bringing in investors to invest into Maya through joint ventures, to expansion of the brand, and to expand the facility and production facility of our chocolate. We have an excess of 150 types of chocolates that we make. With the injection of the investment, we expect the actual gross revenue to increase 45% annually between 2020 to 24. And even though COVID is a difficult year, the actual chocolate production did balance out a lot of our losses and stabilize the company. Future projections of Maya based on investors coming in, we expect by 2024 the net profit to increase to 73%. Looking how we want to expand the brand globally and have retail presence all over the world, not just Bahrain. Today's valuation, 8.5 million. We're looking at a 5.3 million equity, which basically gives out, not only expands the value of the company, but also gives out dividends to the investors for the next 4 years at a rate of 4.7 million, which puts the valuation up to $10 million for entire Maya, with an annual IRR of 24%, which justifies and validates the vision that we have for it to be a success global story and not just based in Bahrain. This is basically the concept of Maya. We're very proud of it, and we're happy to receive any questions that you might have.
Thank you,
thanks, Sonia. Nice seeing you again. I think when you say Maya and you say chocolate and you say Bahrain, they're all linked. It's part of the Maya chocolate is part of the history of Bahrain. I think Sonia, you've been around for a bit of long time, Maya chocolates. So I know that you tried to attempt going outside Bahrain in the past. I think you had a branch in Riyadh. So what worked and what didn't work with that experience, and what makes you confident that this time it will work in a better way?
We still have Saudi, Riyadh and Jeddah are operational, and it's a franchised model which has been going on since 2008, and we are expanding the agreement with the franchisee for another 10 years. Going forward, we want to basically go into joint venture concepts rather than franchise, not because there is a problem on franchising, but because the legal system in the GCC world is a bit rigid, and they do not understand or appreciate a franchise model. But going beyond the GCC, we're definitely looking at expanding the franchise 100%. Hope this answers you.
Thanks, Rat.
Hi, Sonia. As Tarif Safa said, we're very proud of having a brand, a chocolate brand made in Bahrain. And my question is, also related to expanding. You've established the company here in Bahrain. It's well known, and now your plan is to go beyond Bahrain and maybe GCC. So the plan. For your fundraising, the amount that you've mentioned, is it to enter into a joint venture, or it's more of finding the right partner in different countries around the world to establish the brand? So what's the plan or the strategy around your expansion?
The strategy is simple. Today we have over 100,000 followers from all over the world. We have orders coming in from Australia to be actually delivered from Maya to customers, birthdays, and any occasion. The plan for the investment to bring in investors is not just for the shareholders are not planning to exit in full. We want the money to get into the company such that we can get into joint ventures with new partners in Europe, in Asia, in the US to develop the brand further in terms of recognition, in terms of it having a position beyond Bahrain. And to start in expanding franchising, you need to have a prototype in each continent so that you can give that confidence to the franchisees that they can take. I think going to Bahrain and us being as the first franchise model has been the biggest challenge, because we want to create that credibility to the world that you still can be a great brand even if you're made in Bahrain. And to do that, we need to set up, yes, joint ventures and partners through this injection of equity with other partners that do understand the F&B sector so that we can open prototypes and models in different continents and then from there on franchise further.
Thank you, Sonia. Does anyone have any other questions, or should we wrap up?
I have one question. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia, how can you utilize technology that can help you, penetrate, let's say, more markets with the plans that you've explained?
Definitely e-commerce. This is one thing that we're working on at the moment, to digitalize all our order processing, automate our distribution processing as much as possible, not just from a chocolate perspective, but even in the cafes. We're working with a number of teams, again, Bahrainis, we're always proud to work with Bahraini partners, to make the concept as technology friendly as possible, not just from the cafe, not just from the ordering, but even in the production. I wanted one thing, that one of the elements to extend shelf life is hygiene. So the less you have human interaction, the more you expand your shelf life. So adapting technology, even in the process of making chocolate, and automating some of the processes will even enhance the shelf life of the products even further. Dark chocolate can go up to 24 months, and this is our objective.
Did she answer your question? All right, thank you, Sonia. And thank you, everyone, for your pitches. I think you all did great. We're just going to be needing a 10-minute break. Hopefully, we'll try to speed up the process just to determine the scoring before we announce the winner. Judges, I've sent you a separate link that we'd be able to enter for a separate Zoom session, just for 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to let you know that we're almost done with the judging. It took a bit longer than expected. We will just need 5 more minutes and we'll get back to you. Thank you for waiting. Hi, everyone. If everyone can let me know that they're back, just so we can go ahead and start again.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and start. I think the judges would like to say something before we announce the prizes and the winners. I think Sarah wanted to say something.
Yes. Hello, hi everyone. First, I'd like to thank you for. I'd like to thank GEC for giving us the opportunity to participate in this competition, and to say I'm very proud of the Bahraini-based. I think I hear myself repeating.
We hear you just fine. I don't know if it's
okay. So thank you everyone for your pitches. I think we're proud to see a Bahraini-based companies with that quality of presenting and concepts and ideas. It's amazing. I've been in that field with the Bahrain Development Bank for so long, and I've seen the improvement and the scalability of the companies in Bahrain. It was a tough decision as a judge, but hopefully we managed to choose the right finalist for the final competition. And also, just to give you a brief on where I am and where I come from, we have Al-Waha. I'm part of Al-Waha Venture Capital Fund of Funds, and I've seen. I looked at good companies that pitched today that are that they have the potential to raise venture capital funds from our underlying portfolio. So I would definitely ask you to contact me on my email, and I would definitely link you with the right VC fund to raise funding. And I think there's a lot of potential there. So good luck everyone, and I'll give it to Sabicha and the team to announce the winners.
Hamad, Safa, do you guys want to say anything? Or you're good?
A bit of words. I think thanks to Assam and Sabicha for filtering the company's names until now. It was a very difficult, let's say, difficult selection. Very impressed with all the businesses. I think Bahrain's futures looks very bright in terms of coaching, in terms of students, in terms of events, and in terms of chocolate, in terms of language and culture, and in terms of farming as well. So the marketing were very close to each other. Okay, and we had to do it through the platform. We trusted the process with the platform, and the platform was based on people, products, potential, and predictability. And we had a bit of deliberation about the top names, and we trusted the system at the end. So good luck for the future. And I think I wish I would have the same offer from Sarah as well, to apply as well to the Waha Fund.
Yeah.
Thank you, judges. Thank you for participating as this year's EWC judges as well. I'll go ahead and introduce the national and global prizes. The national prizes are accessible for the top 3 winners of today, and then the global prize will be accessible for the first winner. So the Entrepreneurs Organization in Bahrain are offering participants the top 3 participants 3 hours of mentorship with the Entrepreneurs Organization globally, as well as 3 vouchers to access the EO learning events. Those are full-day events that, as I've heard, are extremely beneficial for businesses who are looking to scale up. As well, Diversity on Board are offering all finalists, so this is for everyone here, education pack on startup boards, as well as free services to help participants find advisory and executive board members. I'll also be emailing you the prizes as well. For the global prize, the winner will receive $100,000 worth of in-kind prize awards. These include benefits, discounts, and free services from Stripe, Amazon Web Services, HubSpot, Segment, Intercom, Google Cloud, and many more. The global finalists are selected as one of the EWC 100. They will be receiving an additional of $700,000 worth of in-kind prizes, which ends up being a total of $800,000. The winner of today will advance as a global finalist, where EWC will invite you immediately to join Accelerate 2 and provide the $100,000 of in-kind prizes. In Accelerate 2, EWC global finalists will participate in a combination of virtual training sessions and direct one-to-one mentoring to prepare them for the global finals, which will take place October 18 to 20 in Riyadh as part of the MISC Global Forum. The EWC organizers will announce the EWC 100 on October 1st, inshallah. So I'll have Assam introduce the top 3 winners.
Hi again, everyone, and thank you all for sticking around. I know maybe we went a little bit over time, but also thanks to you, you made the lives of the judges very difficult. It was really not easy to actually make a final decision, and the scores were very, very close. It reminds me of Seinfeld in his stand-up when he mentioned Olympic runners, how the decision is like a millisecond. It's like a thought, not even measured. And I think we were almost there today. But I think we had some really good participations, so we thank you for that. But we have to pick winners to proceed to the next round, inshallah. We have 3 winners from today's pitches. I'll start with the third. And I'm sure students love you in Bahrain, Unipal. Ali is in the 3rd place. We really love your platform and concept. So Ali will be getting access to the national prizes, inshallah. The second, Simi Ali, which is Adri, came in 2nd place. And we have actually been lucky to come across this business some time back, and we've seen where they have reached today since they've established their business in Bahrain, and we wish you all the luck. So Ali, this journey, inshallah, with Tamkeen will continue. And as for the first prize winner and the person that will proceed to the final ceremony, inshallah, in KSA in November, is the platform. So congratulations, Muhammad Khalil. We think this is a very or a much needed solution today. As you know, this has become a priority in terms of farming, al-amn al-ghidai, etc. So I think this would be a concept that would, I think all of us would agree, that would represent our ecosystem also well. Congratulations to all of you, and really, all of you are winners today. I know that's very cliche, but we really enjoyed all your presentations. We have worked with most of you, and we're pretty sure that we'll cross paths very soon. But for EWC this year, this is it from us. And we thank you from Jan Bahrain, EWC Global, Tamkeen, for taking part this year. And you'll inshallah be hearing from us soon. We'll be contacting the winners directly, and if anyone else wants to contact us for any additional information, please feel free to do so. Sabicha made this happen. It was not easy putting this together with all this happening. The situation has been changing a lot from last year, but I think we're happy with how this thing turned out this year. فمشكورين, and I think it's almost time for your weekend. We'll leave it at that, and we'll see you guys soon, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for participating as a judge, as a startup, and we're looking forward to hosting other EWC competitions in the future as well.
مشكورين.
Thank you, thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Bye now. Congrats. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.